Hey, hi, hello, what's goody? I'm here back with another review. We made it to the first official episode of season 13. In my last video, you could check me out watching the Meet the Queens, so you can see my first impressions of these women and just kind of get what I think about them. But in this series, YouTube video, we're going to be talking about episode 1 of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race, aka the best show to be on TV. So, heads up, I took notes. They're on my laptop. I have plenty. And I'm going to be looking at my laptop while we talk about this. I also have water to stay hydrated. But let's just dive in. This episode was really exciting. Obviously there's spoilers, so if you didn't watch, just don't watch this video. But if you don't care about it, continue, because we're gonna have a key. So we start off the episode, we're looking at the workroom. Let's just say it, the workroom looks so good. I like the little rainbow that they have on the floor. I'm enjoying that it seems just way bigger. I'm sure there are multiple reasons for it being bigger, whether it be budget or the fact that they needed it because of Corona guidelines, but we'll get into that later. And when we walk in, our first queen, my queen, is Candy Muse. And she looks gorgeous. That denim look is gorgeous. I think it was a Chicago designer who made it, Ray something. Well, I'll put some info about it in the video. But she looks gorgeous. The denim dress is really cute. The blonde wig is perfect. She looks like what she said, the Dominican doll. And she came with a boombox. Her mind. And she comes in, first queen to enter, super funny, super charismatic, lots of confidence. We love that about Candy. And then the second queen to walk in is Joey J. And her look was cute. I really liked her hair. The makeup was very, very cute. Candy did come at her for her jacket, her little chicken coat, which should have been marabou, but it wasn't. And within the first 10 minutes, we have a gag because those are the first two and the only two queens to walk in. So they go to the stage. And we have the beautiful judges panel. We have Rue, we have Michelle, we have Ross, and we have, I forgot his name, begins with a C, but you know who I'm talking about, the funny one. So we have all of them on the judges panel. They look great. The judges panel is different, obviously. They have plexiglass. It's a bigger judges panel. They're all separated. Again, Corona guidelines. You gotta do what you gotta do. And for this season, for the first episode, for this premiere, they have the queens coming up. We know that now we're gonna have 6 lip syncs. So, I mean, personally, for me, the lip syncs and the runway are the 2 things that I care about. And that's basically all we got on this episode. We got the entrances and then we got right into lip syncs. So, we have Joey J and Candy Muse go on stage. They're gooped, they're gagged. Everyone who's watching it is too, because we weren't expecting this. And it feels like a pageant. They're like going about saying like, what does this outfit have to do with you? Like, what can we expect from you? What's your personality like? That kind of gig. And then Ru tells them, oh, by the way, y'all are going to be lip syncing and one of you is going home. So that was a gag. They were all gagged. Joey J looked like he had no idea what was going on. And we get right into the lip sync, and it was Call Me Maybe by Cardi B, a classic gay club bop. And I knew from when Candy picked up that boombox and pressed the on button when the lip sync started, that she won. That was it. That's all it took. In general, the lip sync was entertaining. One of the more entertaining lip syncs that we had for the night, but we'll get into that later on in the video. And unfortunately, Joey J did not win the lip sync, but fortunately, Candy Muse did. And Joey is escorted to the back. We don't hear about her. We get into the next two queens. The next two queens we have are Denali and Lalari. Denali being our Alaskan Chicago ice skating queen of the season. And Denali's look is gorgeous. She comes in actually on bedazzled ice skates, which is fucking crazy. And she has like this little like cute little like quinceañera dress. It feels like a quinceañera dress to me, as well as like shorter. And she gives us a Beyonce ponytail braid. She looks gorgeous. And then we have Lalari. And Lalari is coming in a full head to toe Beyonce getup. So if y'all know, it's the On the Run tour outfit where Beyonce has like the little turtleneck that comes up into a mask that's fully sewn and bedazzled. Gorge. Lalari is actually stunning. Like zooming in the picture pretty, you know? So I really enjoyed their lip sync as well. Same gig, they go to the stage, they're all gooped and gagged. They're like, oh shit, what the fuck? You know, like, I can't believe that we're here on this stuff. The Nia's look is cute. Lalari's look is cute. And then what killed me was when they were on the stage and Denali goes back and forth with Carson. That's his name. With Carson, with the ice skating references. He was like, what kind of ice skater are you? Are you a Nancy Kerrigan or are you the other one? And she's like, I'm Tanya. I'm Tanya. I'm gonna play the game. And I'm like, you better come through with the ice skating references. You know your brand. You know what you're doing. So I thought that was cute. And then we also got the idea that like Denali is gonna be spicy, like how she called herself. And honestly, when we get into the lip sync, which was Pussycat Dolls, when I grew up, I thought that Denali was gonna win. I was watching it with my besties, and we were all kind of gagged when Lalari won the lip sync. And not to like discredit Lala, it has nothing to do, like she did a good job. But the reason why we were gagged is because of the fact that Denali did the entire lip sync on skates. She did a flip, like a cartwheel, and she was actually like dancing well, like more than people who don't wear skates. So I was confused, but that's Drag Race, you know what I mean? So we have Denali now exiting. She looks devastated. I think that she says, so icy, so spicy, something like that was her exit line. And I was like, okay, that's cute. Oh, but also, another thing that I thought was really funny was that Lalari kind of does like the Scooby-Doo. So I'm like, oh, in the confessionals, because she's gagged that she's stage 2. And I'm like, I see you, I hear you. So seeing Denali and Joey in the pork chop landing dock with all the first out girls, that's kind of what we got into in the next scene. So you see every single first eliminated girl. So we have Pork Chop, we have Alyssa Summers, we have Venus Delight, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, Soju, Dahlia in that broccoli outfit, and all the other ones. And so we kind of understand that like something's happening. You know what I mean? Like they're not necessarily gone yet because we're keeping them here. Which was nice to see because I was really upset that that would be the end of Denali, you know? So then next into the workroom, we have Simone and we have Miss Tameesha Iman. Let's talk about Simone. She's gorgeous. She has on this beautiful blonde wig, and then she has on like this 60s inspired dress that's all pictures of herself, like Polaroid pictures. And I believe that's a harken back to a Giselle Bundchen dress from like 04, which was the same concept, just like pictures of herself, super gorgeous. Simone is the Ebony Enchantress. She's gorgeous. And then she talks about her drag, and she's like, I'm very inspired by a real woman. Like, I want to embody that. And then she said, and if you're black, that's even better. And I agree, because we love our black queens, our black sisters, our black men, our black kings. They're gorgeous and they deserve to be represented and highlighted. So I'm happy that Simone is doing that. And especially like bringing the fashion to it too. Like, we love to see it. And then Tameesha, I think Tameesha is gorgeous. I know a lot of people who don't agree, and I just think that they're incorrect in that matter. She is the mother of the Imans, which I'm assuming is a legendary house. So praise be to her. They go off, and their interaction is really cute. I like seeing it's kind of like looking like mother and daughter, even though it's really Lala V is Tameesha's daughter, but whatever. When you see Simone and Tameesha interact, like you could tell they're like same energy, same spirit, but just two different generations, and they're both gorgeous, stunning. So, oh, and one thing I wanted to note is that Simone's confidence and charisma is so nice to see. You can see that when she was talking about that on the main stage to Michelle, when she mentioned that like, yeah, I love myself, I love my drag, and she later mentioned that like her drag helped her save her life, and I was like, I love to see that like you're embodying what makes you happy, and you're doing what makes you happy. So that's great, and another reason to love Simone, like she's actually personable, like she has some personality, and she's like likable. So that's hard to see. And then we learned about Tameesha's backstory, and that was just really upsetting. She could have been on season 12, but she was dealing with a health issue. She had stage 3 cancer, she mentioned, and that was so sad. And she mentioned that she's not the best her. I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said that like because of what she was going through, that she's not as good as she used to be, but she's good enough to make it through. And I'm like, you better push through and do what you gotta do, Tameesha, because I'm ready for you. I really am. I really want to see like the older queens, the black queens, just do well. Like I believe it was the Vixen who said, I'm rooting for everyone black in Aquaria, but I don't have an Aquaria yet, so I'm still rooting for everyone black. I'm rooting for everyone black in Candy. Boom. So from the jump, Tameesha is just perfect. And when they're doing the lip sync, which I believe it was a Janet Jackson song, Pleasure Something, you can see that they have two very different styles, kind of like what I mentioned before, where Simone is like, she's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like she uses her face a lot more. She's a lot more animated in that aspect. And Tameesha is giving us pure like 90s Janet Jackson moves. You can tell that she's been to the concerts. She's known to the choreography. She knows the gig. And from my expectation, I was like, oh, Tameesha is eating Simone up. You know what I mean? Because of the dancing. And I was like, that's what, it was engaging to me, but then you get the close shots of Simone and you see RuPaul actually like really loving what Simone is doing with her face and her little movements to the beat, which ends up with just Simone moving forward and to be on the winners part of this season so far. And unfortunately, Tameesha did not make it. She went to the back. And I will say that of all the lip syncs that we see in this episode, this one's probably like right in the middle of the path for me. It wasn't crazy, it wasn't great, it wasn't bad. But it was entertaining to say the least. So it was sad to see Tameesha go, but I understand the reasoning. I think that Simone probably just was a little bit more animated and engaging to the judges. So that might have been why she made it. But I'm not RuPaul, I'm not the judges, I don't know the reasoning, whatever. So we move on to Tameesha interacting with the other girls, and she says, I'm in shock and awe. They're excited. Why? They're excited. Why we here? The lady said that we need to go home. And that killed me because Tameesha is so great. Joey J and Denali were up there kiki and having a good ass time, and Tameesha walks in and she's like, I don't even get this. Like, I felt that. I felt that. And that's why I started to love Tameesha even more, because I'm like, okay, so you have a dry sense of humor. You know, that she just says what it is. And I would be with her too. Like, I don't understand why y'all kikiing and having a good time when Miss Ru just told us that we need to pack our shit and go. She just eliminated us. Like, nobody knows what's actually going on, but they're assuming the best. They're like, oh, it's Drag Race. You know, like, they're not gonna eliminate all of us. Baby, you don't know that. That's exactly what you said. It's Drag Race. Anything can happen. So that's that. We move on from Tameesha joining the Pork Chop Lounge, loading dock, whatever. And then we have our next set of queens. And I think that this pair up is actually like the weirdest pair up of all of them, which is Got Mick, and Utica Queen. So from the jump, Got Mick is gorgeous. I love her outfit. The makeup is gorgeous. The hair is gorgeous. Her personality is very dry LA. Like, oh hey gorge. Oh my god, yes, hey gorge. So she's a good time, and I really enjoyed her aesthetics. I thought it was really funny when she lost the shoe. I thought that was like, okay, this is peak LA. This is like high drag, you know? And then we have Utica Queen, and Utica is a wacky ass bitch. She has a strawberry in her hair. She has multiple patterns. She has green hair, green brows, blue eyeshadow, all this shit. And I'm like, okay, so you are like the quirky artsy. She says that she's like the inflatable tube man of drag, and I was like, okay, you're funny. Again, like same shtick. They have them going to the stage. They have to explain like why they're unique and like why they care about themselves. And you could tell from them trying to express themselves. Gottmik has the confidence, has like, you know, like she's ready to talk about herself and sell herself. She knows her brand. She knows who she is. Utica Queen is fucking awkward. And like not even like a bad way. It's just a little cringy because you could tell that she's nervous. You know? And I mean, it's entertaining on stage. It's entertaining for TV. I love watching it. But you could tell that she was uncomfortable, and I felt for her for a little bit. And then we go into the lip sync, which, thank you, Rupaul, and whatever gay intern it was that decided to choose Rumors by Lindsay Lohan. We need to talk about that. That is the best choice that you could have ever chosen for a lip sync song. And let me tell you why. Okay? Rumors by Lindsay Lohan, every little gay went through that moment when they were watching Disney and saw Lindsay Lohan. I was just like, I'm gonna be her, you know? And just because she had everybody talking about her, she had all the drama, she was living her life. She went from a Disney girl to not being a Disney girl and just being a crazy, wild chick. So thank you for putting that on the show. Oh, but trying to go back a little bit, I thought it was really funny that Gottmik said that she's not a lip sync assassin, but she could start the party, and then we get into the lip sync. And I'm like, I'm happy you're honest, because she's not the lip sync assassin of the season. And neither is Utica. Honestly, this one was probably my least favorite of all the lip syncs. It just was messy, you know what I mean? And Gottmik was performing, she was doing what she had to do, she was being entertaining. I thought that Utica also had some entertaining moments, but when we line up all the other lip syncs, it just wasn't as exciting, unfortunately. But Gottmik did like a split, you know, like she went on her knees and bended back. So she has some moves that are like classics to get some type of entertainment coming. So kudos to her. Unfortunately, that means that Utica went to go to the Pork Chop loading dock. And we didn't get to see her interacting immediately. I remember that. But her exit was really fun. Utica's exit was really fun. She was like, I'm gonna get you for this, RuPaul. And I'm like, this is what we love to see. This is drag. Okay. And then our next set of queens is Rose and Olivia Lux. So Rose's outfit, walking in head to toe pink, very Rose. And she looks gorgeous, and then she opens her fucking mouth and she blacked out one of her front teeth. And I'm like, you're stupid too. You're stupid too. And she looks gorgeous, you know what I mean? She's feeling herself. And then right after we have Olivia Lux, the doll. And she walks in and she comes in purse first with a little Jock Moose inspired bag, fully bedazzled, well bedazzled on the edges. I see you. And then she has on this beautiful gown. gown. We'll talk about that in a second. And it was very Christopher John Rogers inspired because of the velvet and like the colors, the very vibrant colors. It felt like it was giving Christopher John Rogers, Black Xmas. We love to see that. So Olivia Lux is the doll. She looks stunning, and she came prepared because she's a little campy. You know what I mean? Like you could tell. And in terms of her performance, she was giving that. So they were performing to. I don't remember what song Olivia and Rose were performing to now that I think about it off the top of my head. But whatever, it's fine. Oh, now I remember. It's X's and O's. It was like, you know. I'm not going to sing it now because I'm worried that it's going to be copyrighted, especially with the fact that, whatever. So they were singing X's and O's. And I mean, it was probably my favorite lip sync of the night because it felt like we had two competitors who were actually on the same level. Like Rose was out here spinning, she was taking her costume off, and then Olivia goes and takes her gown, strips it off into a cute little one piece, a nice leotard, and Olivia is feeling it. She's performing, she says that she's feeling the music, she starts guitaring and going off, and I'm just like, this is like the campiness that I like to see. She's just having fun, she's feeling the music, and she's enjoying and emoting. I think that's what we love to see. And she has the most gorgeous smile. So I thought that was the most competitive lip sync of the night. And then the gag is that Olivia, who's only been doing drag for a year and a half in New York, won over Rose, who's been doing drag for however many years, is one of the biggest queens in New York City. She works all throughout Hell's Kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, she's the girl of New York City. And she's gagged. You could tell on her face that she's completely gagged. I mean, she literally was hosting a competition that Olivia was competing in. So I'm sure that she felt some type of way. And you can even see on her face that she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't think that she's actually leaving. And she goes to the back and she realizes that she actually is leaving. So, go off. You know what I mean? One thing I also wanted to mention. Rose like says that she's a dancer and a singer. But we need to talk about that dip. That dip that Rose did was questionable. I felt bad for her knee. And I'm not a vulgar, but I know that dip was not it. It was not it. So, love you, Rose, but it wasn't it. And you could tell that Rose and Jan are definitely sisters because they both had the same crack face. When Jan didn't win and when Rose went home. You could tell. So then the next one we have threesome, where we have Kimora, Elliot, and Tina Burner. Tina Burner came in first, looking like Ronald McDonald is a fireman. And then we have, she's hilarious, by the way. She could take a joke about herself. And then we have Kimora coming next, and she is the doll, the Mackie doll, wearing a real Bob Mackie dress that was fitted to her body. And then we have Elliot, who I agreed with her when she said she's the most famous drag queen that nobody ever heard of, because I never heard of her. And what I thought was really funny was that Kimora and Tina were both reading Elliot for her look, because in my head I was doing that, but I didn't say it out loud, but they did, so they made it okay. They were reading my mind at that very moment. And then let's just go into the lip sync. They're all presenting themselves. Everybody's impressed with the fact that Kimora is wearing a Bob Mackie, an original. And they do Lady Marmalade, which is a classic. It's another classic drag song. Everyone, if you've gone to a New York City show, you know that there's like 3 people performing. They're going to do Lady Marmalade. So, well, 4 usually, but for this case, we're gonna have 3 of them doing it. And honestly, the only person I was looking at was Tina. The entire time. She was funny. Like, she was really serving it. You could tell that she's been doing this for years. She's probably performed that song many times, and she knows every little bit, and she was doing it, and honestly, she deserves to win. I didn't think that they were gonna kick both Kimora and Elliot out, but they did, and honestly, like, they just seem confused. Like, especially when they all gathered at the end, when you see all of them talking and kikiing, the girls who lost was just confused and not really understanding what was happening. And then it was so funny to see them cut off to the winners because they were fully kikiing and having a good time, drinking their bubbly drinks. And by the way, I'm guessing that bubbly is a new sponsor, but are they not having any more alcoholic drinks? Is that not happening? Or is it fully just like, we're doing bubbly and bubbly only? I would be mad, personally, if I didn't have any type of alcohol, but that's a whole other thing. So some funny things. I thought that Candy was hilarious when she said that Tina auditions every single year, and it's about time that she made it on the show, which we later learned that Tina actually auditioned so many times that she can't even remember. Oh, Simone really told me when she said something about camping queens. She said, they may not be gorgeous in the face, but I'll watch for her. And she was talking about Tina. And I was like, you definitely understand Tina then. She's not the most pretty. Well, actually, she is gorgeous. Let me shut up. But you're prettier, but she has talent. She'll bring the looks. She'll bring the performance. I'm looking forward to seeing Tina, especially Tina's interactions with Rosé. They're kind of shady. Rosé thinks that Tina doesn't like her, and it's, from my understanding right now, it looks like Tina has a little bit of a judgment of Rosé so far. So I'm excited to see how that plays out and the dynamics of the New York City girls in general. Oh, and then we learn what the real gag is. So like, we're thinking that the gag is that they're separated. The real gag is that the bottom queens have to vote somebody out. And I feel like I love this because, like, thank you for like giving us some type of drama from the jump. And I love this because you could do it 3 ways. Well, not 3 ways, multiple ways. Where you can like be patriotic about it and just like kind of talk, and you just gotta choose. You know what I mean? Or you can kind of be shady. Like, I know that the Chicago girls, there's 2 Chicago girls there that know each other, so they can fully like link up and try and get somebody out. You know, like 2 votes is a lot of votes, and there's only like 6, 7 queens. So if they vote for the same person, it's more likely. Or you could try and vote for the strongest person, which in my opinion in that group is Rosé. So maybe Rosé leads. Or maybe they go for the self-proclaimed basic girl, the Vanessa Carlton, Joey J. Maybe she goes. I mean, she has chicken feathers on. We have Kimora Hall here in the full about Maggie, and then we have chicken feathers. So when you think of like the tiers and like where they compete, where your mind will go and who's worthy of being left out, you know, everything comes into play. Also, Tameesha, I mean, I kind of understand that Tameesha is not going to go anywhere because the trailer, you see the runways that they do, and Tameesha was there, which is like, come on, editing. But Tameesha says, I'm the only black girl, so you're not going to kill me. You're not going to take me off. And that destroyed me. I was like, you better do that. You better let them know. Think about these optics, baby. And Rosé calling back to Candy Muse, saying that it's like we're the only ones staying alone in VIP now. I thought that was funny. And then we get into Untucked, and honestly, Untucked isn't anything too crazy. Like, it's basically just the girls talking. It doesn't feel like it's anything that dramatic yet. We see that the New York City girls love each other. Rosé is gagged that she lost to Olivia. Not surprised there. Lala doing another Scooby-Doo thing, where she says, yeah, she just mentioned Scooby-Doo a lot. I thought that was funny. And then, honestly, like when I'm thinking of what I would have enjoyed to see, I don't want to put this out there, but I think that would have been really funny to see Candy's reaction to going home first. Especially her interacting with the groups. I just think that would have been really funny. I thought it was funny that Tina and Candy were both saying that they would hook up with the queens. Go off. you're isolated. And honestly, like, let's try and do a prediction. Like, I would love to hear your predictions in the comments on what we think is going to happen next. So we already know that the next episode is going to be a group challenge, and they're going to be performing. I think that they're going to have them separate in these groups for a minute. And the only reason why I think that is because of COVID restrictions. So I think that they're going to try and have them separate for as long as they can until they can bring the entire group together. Just based off of like how many people they could have in the room, you know, that kind of good. And we're going to see like we're going to see them interact in these small groups. I think that would be a really fun idea, and then having them like bring the top 4 of each group together, and then we'll get like that'll be the real challenge. You know what I mean? But we'll see. They always switch it up on Drag Race. And I'm just excited to see where this goes. I think we have a really good cast. So thanks for watching this entire video. I know that we went through a lot, but we're just kikiing and having a good time. So please make sure to comment down below. I would love to hear your opinions. Who do you think should have won the lip syncs? Who do you think is going to be going home next week? It's a performance challenge, and we already saw how they perform, so I would love to get your ideas of who's going to go home next week. And then maybe like tell me who your favorite look was. My favorite look would probably be Gottmik. She did gorge. So let me know below who your favorite look was. And just make sure to subscribe, like the video, post notifications, all that good shit. I would love any type of support that I can get. I'm doing this for fun, and I'm trying to teach myself how to edit videos on the way. So expect more content coming from me soon. So bye.